be here.
How are you?
Very good. You can hear me now. That's
Let's hear
good.
the mix room. Woo! I hope I just didn't do like a great 1.5 minutes of dead air.
I could hear you.
Okay, good. That's what matters.
Yeah.
Joe Ashlar is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Tell us just real quick how you first felt the importance of these two piano pioneers, Professor Longhair and James Booker.
Well, for me, it was total. They were completely new to me upon moving to New Orleans.
Yeah.
I'm originally from Connecticut. So my New Orleans education, which I think is one of the luckiest and best things that could have happened to me, was I ended up doing a regular gig at Donna's every Monday night with George French, Jermaine Basil, Eric Traub, Todd Duke. It's typically a rotating cast of drummers, but Herlin Riley was one of the main ones that did it. That gig was my intro to almost everything that I learned about New Orleans music, and Eric Traub specifically. He kind of took me under his wing when I moved here, and after every Donna's gig, this was before Spotify and streaming and everything, and we'd sit down, he'd had a pile of CDs for me to burn to my computer, and he gave me a history lesson and a music lesson about everything, and he introduced me to Booker and Professor Longhair.
Wow.
That way, yeah.
And so today we get to hear how you have taken that knowledge and translated it into your own sound.
Definitely.
Yeah. So what are we going to hear, my dear?
So I'm going to start with, speaking of Eric Traub, I'm going to start with the first James Booker song that I ever heard, and the first one that I ever learned, which is called African Gumbo. And it's one of the he did some recordings with full band, so this is one of the full band things. But of course, I'm going to be playing it solo piano. I really like the sound of this because with his kind of his rhythmic approach, he's trying to fill in the place for the drums, so it works even without a full band. So, African Gumbo by James Booker.
just fantastic.
Thank you.
Joe Ashlar here on WWOZ FM New Orleans. And we are celebrating our piano professors today with James Booker, who probably, I want to say, would have maybe been kicked out of class. But he went on and really, like y'all have said, showed what the possibilities are for the piano, taking the traditions laid down by Toots Washington and then Professor Longhair, who's kind of the contemporary one that we know, our generations, but that really started back, in days of yore, the dark ages. So here you are, Joe Ashlar. Thank you so much for taking the time to come here on WWOZ.
Thank you for having me. I love being here.
Tell us what you're going to play next.
All right. So I'm going to play. So I started with the first James Booker song I learned. Now I'm going to start with the most recent one that I learned.
Okay.
He did not write it, but he did a few really great recordings of this one. It's called Too Much Blues. I did a spot with actually some of the pianists who are here today for the Funky Uncle during the pandemic. And at that time, someone had requested that I learn this. Actually, it was Miss Leslie. Yeah, Miss Leslie said, I was looking for some recommendations. She said, how about Too Much Blues? I don't think anyone's playing that. And I listened to it, and this is something that I mention sometimes because I do that. They do the Booker piano series at the Maple Leaf in the back bar, and this song, as many of you know, Booker struggled with drug addiction, and this song just, even though he didn't write the lyrics, it really feels like he's singing his story. I will not be singing the lyrics because I haven't practiced that, but I advise anyone who listens to this to go back and check out Booker's version with the lyrics. It really tells kind of a heart-wrenching story. So this is called Too Much Blues.
got goosebumps in here.
Thank you.
Come and get me and take me from here. Sing me a sweet song and laugh in my ear. Tell me some stories on a cold, lonely night. Help me see the difference, what's wrong and what's right. Take all my burdens and make them see light, because I've been too long paying my dues, too long singing those blues.
Nice.
That's the lyrics. You are
Excellent.
amazing, Joe Ashlar.
Thank you very much.
That
Thank
just
you.
was a beautiful, beautiful performance, and I love your repertoire. You brought us different views of our artists that we're featuring today, Professor Longhair and James Booker.
Thank you. Glad to hear that.
Yeah, we're really glad to have you, and I thank you so very, very much for coming by.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's just about 5 minutes after the hour of 1 o'clock. You have it tuned to WWOZ, and we're going to sadly